Well, whenever you see the red light.
I hate this guy. Welcome in to the newest edition of JTS After Dark with a special not After Dark edition. Of
Afternoon.
course, afternoon. This is true, but it is still broad daylight outside, and probably the last day that Louisiana will see above 30 degrees in quite a long time. But we have Jai from the Hey Jai podcast. We have T Mill from whatever his future podcast is called, and of course, as
Name
always, don't forget to
it.
follow at JTime Sports on all your favorite social media platforms. Of course, today we'll be talking about the NFL divisional round. I'm sure the conference championship will come up. The national championship will pop up somewhere in there. And there's going to be some nonsense, of course, as always. But let's get started. So, our first topic of the day is Houston. We have a problem, and it's the refs. Honestly, I don't know who's doing these, but that guy needs a raise. Again, I have no idea who it is, but but
Guy got
whoever it
paid a
is,
bunch. So I don't know.
whoever it is, that
That
guy
guy doing it
needs
for
a
the love of the
raise.
game.
Oh man,
That guy doing it for the love of the game at this point.
I don't know. He needs a new contract or something. That guy's working. But Houston have a problem, and it's the refs. Of course, if you guys watch the Houston Texans against the refs, I mean the Chiefs at all, you definitely were able to see why this is a thing. The Chiefs did ultimately win 23-14 and killed a lot of betting lines by getting that safety at the end. Uh, how do you guys want to
It
start
was a nice
this?
little $200
Didn't
on a
kill mine.
Saturday.
I had it at 8. I didn't have a 9.5. I had it at 8. So I was good. Uh, I was cool. Got a little nervous there. But I was all
Nice
right.
little 200 on a Saturday. Thanks, Trav.
Listen, I was cool. But ultimately, per usual, and the alleged black magic, the Kansas City Chiefs find a way to win. Again, they advance to their seventh straight conference championship game. This is Patrick Mahomes continue his streak of every year he started. They've made it to the conference championship game, and all of them except one have been played in Arrowhead Stadium.
Go.
Well, let's not lose our minds. I get it's a wild day in
Wow,
America,
all
but
those conference championships and only 2 Super Bowls to show for it.
3.
3.
3? He got 3?
Yeah, the back to back, and then the year they lost to Brady, and then the one before that.
He might be the GOAT. Hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on. He might be. Might gotta look at some things.
Now, especially if you win this year.
Hey, if he gets a 3-piece,
bro, looking good, bro.
He could lose.
Looking
And he's
good.
still the GOAT to me. So
if he lose it, I was told that you don't get points for losing championships. I was told that was the thing.
You
I
don't
was
get
told
points
better
for
to
losing
lose in the first
championships.
round.
Joe
Therefore,
Burrow,
I mean, hey, all right. So this should not affect him at all. This actually hurt him because he lost, from what I was
You know
told,
it's crazy.
in a different debate. Let's just
I
hear
don't
no
want to
there.
root for. I don't want to root for nobody but the Commanders at this point. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, me too. I'm full blown in the Commanders.
While Josh Allen is my guy, I can't root for the Bills. It just makes me itch.
either the Commanders or the Chiefs, bro. That's it.
Nah.
I can't root for. I'm tired of the Chiefs. The Eagles.
I'm tired of how the Chiefs do things.
I want to witness greatness, bro. Like
the Eagles don't want to win, but again, we'll get to them later. We're talking about the Houston and the Chiefs. Talking about Houston and the Chiefs. I ran through a bunch of numbers on the audio show, which dropped on Monday. I did a bunch of numbers on there, but ultimately this game came down to the red zone, and it came down to penalties. The Chiefs had 4 penalties for 29 yards. Houston had 9 for 85, including some questionable ones, to be kind. And then the red zone, the Chiefs were 2 or 5, Texans 1 or 4, something like that. So it came down to the red zone and the officials. 2 calls that are standing out to everyone is the sliding. Somehow Houston hit themselves, and yet they get a flag. And then the incomplete pass on the roughing the passer call, where Will Anderson hits Patrick Mahomes in the chest on his first step, and they said he hit him in the head.
So my thing is with the roughing the passer call, when you look back at it and slow it down, all right, cool. We can clearly see that like it wasn't like vicious or like nothing crazy, but like looking at it like in game speed, he swung his hands over the top and made some contact around that area. So it's gonna look like roughing the passer. So you can't get mad at that one. Now, if it was reviewed and then they still said roughing the passer, all right, cool. But let's be honest, bro. Every quarterback is getting that roughing the passer call. I've seen
Jared Goff's not.
No, every quarterback is not getting there for the passer.
No one's getting that call.
That's a call. And even with the unsportsmanlike conduct in real time, no one said that that's not a flag.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry. Unsportsmanlike conduct in professional sports needs to be banned.
I agree.
Yeah,
I get it for amateurism and with like children, peewee, high school, stuff like that. Even college, sure, right? Try to mold some character. These are grown men. They know what they're doing. I'm not about to fine them for whatever. They don't have to be sportsmanlike. They have a job to do. They're trying to pay bills. So
even with that one in real time, it looks like a flag. Now, when you got replay assist and slow it down, you see that the Houston players hit each other. But in real time, when it happened, nobody thought that the Houston players hit each other. So with that, my thing with eliminate all that, quarterbacks can't slide no more. Because, I mean, if you think about it, he played it right. He had the option to run out of bounds, but he like, ooh, let me see if I can make something else back with a cut. Patrick Mahomes, you're not cutting back and you're not doing
I think every runner can slide, but I think that once you're out of the pocket, you're no longer a quarterback.
Exactly. I think that's the problem.
So I think I understand the giving yourself up when you fall. All right, cool. Receivers do it all the time. But I'm talking about like if a quarterback takes off running, bro, you can't slide. You got defenders running full speed at you.
If you slide and you get hit, that's the consequence.
I don't think you should be able to slide, bro, because you already
unless it's blatantly like it should be the equivalent if a running back tried to slide. That's how it should be.
But even still, running backs don't. I don't think sliding should be a thing because one, you can't go as a defender. You can't go too high. You can't hit too low because if I hit you too low, I'm aiming at your knees. You think I'm trying to hurt you. And if I aim too high, I'm hitting you in the head. So like to eliminate all of it, you can't slide. That's your consequence for running. It's football. You're gonna get hit.
You're right.
You're gonna get hit. Football.
You should only be down by contact. You should only be down by contact. So even if you fall on the ground and slide as a runner, if you fall on the ground and slide as a runner, if you get hit on the ground, then that shouldn't be a flag.
But like sliding, bro, no, I think they should just take it out regardless because now it's getting to the point where people are fake sliding and all this stuff. Just take it out of the game.
Kenny Pickett used to get in trouble for that at Pitt because he used to.
Kenny Pickett actually got that move banned in college football. Off the fake slide. Yeah, he actually got that ban like the next
week. Bro, that's not fair, bro. Y'all making it to where defenders have to come out every game, every week, and play perfect. That's not fair to ask players to play perfect in every aspect of the game, all game. And then,
but it's also it could be on both sides of the fence too, because like I've seen like the running backs are getting fined for blocking. Whenever a linebacker comes to blitz and they like drop their shoulder to make a block, they're getting fined for unnecessary contact on that. And I'm just like, what are you supposed to do? Stay there and get hit in the face? Like,
it would be. I get the whole try to make the game safer. Football isn't safe. We just got to come to terms with that. Football isn't safe. So it's either going to be
flag or not.
We just not going to play football or tackle football, or you're going to let them play and understand what comes with it because it's just not safe. So you can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, we're doing this to make it safer. No. I think outside of something that's blatantly late, like plays over hits, or a direct helmet-to-helmet shot, anything is up for grabs. And we're gonna talk about another. What game was that in? I think it was in the Eagles game. We're gonna talk about what happened there, where they called pass interference, unnecessary roughness. Or something like that when they knocked it. It was Devontae Smith whenever he got hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he was in the air. Tom Brady talked about this a while ago. He was like, and this is how you know that it's bad whenever the old offensive players are saying that the defensive players can't do anything with it. Because you would think that they would like it right, in this area. But they was like, not like it's on the quarterback's job to protect himself. It's on the quarterback's job to throw it and protect their receivers. It's not on the it's not on the defense's job to protect the offensive player.
True, because like even if like let's go 10 years ago, you weren't throwing a slant. Like the slant was basically gone from the NFL because the middle linebacker would kill the receiver. And I remember the interview Brady gave. He was like, "There's certain teams I wouldn't even throw a slant to Edelman or Amendola because Ray Lewis and all these guys would take my receiver out the game, and now I'm down a weapon. Like now, little bitty 5'7" receiver just running through the middle of the field, bro. That's not supposed to happen. Like football is inherently unsafe. Running full speed into another human repeatedly is inherently unsafe. So if anything, to me, you're making the game, it's gonna sound crazy, more dangerous. Because now I'm not bracing for those shots. So when those shots come, I'm getting hurt worse because I'm not looking for that shot anymore.
And I think that leads to more injuries because they aren't building up the calluses in preparation for it. So that kind of goes into the practice time and all that stuff too. We can talk about that a whole nother day. But they aren't building up the calluses for it to get hit like this. Because they aren't getting hit like this, but in the one occasion where they do get hit like this, it's going to look worse. Yeah, your body's not used to it. So, it even affects how they train. They don't even train for it no more.
No, they don't even train for hits because a lot of times the offseason will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, guys,
like 2015, bro. Tell me the last time a receiver came in at 175, bro.
That's crazy. It's so many of them coming in that small.
Oh, so many people coming in 175,
so
185.
Skinny.
I'm like, what, bro? I weighed that in high school. Like,
I was I was 185 in high school, and y'all played a whole college collegiate program, lifted weights for 4 years, and walking out at 160. Like Xavier Worthy's a toothpick.
Yeah.
And he's like a slot receiver. Like he's not even outside. He's like going through the middle.
He was a first round pick. Xavier Worthy never would have been a first round pick.
In any era. He'd have been a returner.
That's what 4-2 do for you, man.
But even 4-2 in like 2015, he'd have been a returner. Yeah. He'd have been a returner. He would have landed on the Patriots as a returner.
It's over with. Yeah, because they're like, once he get hit, it's over with. But how you have to tackle these guys now?
You got to grab him around the waist and lay him down. He's so fast, it's kind of hard to grab around the waist.
Swing your foot and make sure their feet cleft each other so they can trip themselves.
You can't. That's tripping.
So,
have you swing your arm? My bad, your arm.
Yeah, man. So that was the game. I ain't gonna lie, it was a pretty boring game.
That was the most boring game of the weekend.
Honestly, bro, to be fair, bro, they can't blame that whole game on the refs, bro. They really
it wasn't on the refs. And
they had the opportunities.
Like, bro, you get sacked 8 times, bro. Come on, dog.
And I still think Chiefs probably win the game. It's just one of those when the flag always seems to happen at the perfect moment for the flag to happen. That's when it's like, all right.
To me, it wasn't even that because I'm a Patriots fan. The calls, we got the great calls. The Tuck rule, right?
We got the greatest call of all time. The Tuck rule.
That's cool. Look, star players get star calls. It happens. It happens with LeBron. It happens with Jordan. It happens with whoever you want to get. Whenever you're the best player in the sport, you're gonna get the benefit of the doubt. Harden won an MVP off of it. All right, but whenever you're baiting the call, you're looking for the call. Every time Patrick Mahomes gets hit, he's
turning around and looking.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like about him. Tom Brady never did that.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like it, but it's smart. Like,
oh no, we're not blaming.
In terms of doing what you got to do to win, bro, like it's smart. I don't like it as well. Like, bro, just run out of bounds, bro. Like,
but I feel like you're not trying to win at that point. I feel like you're trying to manipulate the game. It's part of the reason why I don't like some of the stuff that Chris Paul does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a skill. It's not a skill. You're trying to manipulate the game. It's one thing it's on the coaches to manipulate the rules. The players should play. And that's what I think. I don't think it's, I don't know. I just don't like it. And I think they know that they're the team that can do that. So that's why they do it like that. So, but
they definitely are aware that it's
Arrowhead Invitational. This kind of goes into the camp of the people saying that you should eliminate divisions in football, but I ain't gonna lie, I hate that because I feel like divisions in football make football great because that's where you get rivalries from.
I don't think you should delete the divisions. I think you should delete the home field advantage for winning the division.
I don't.
Yes, I think you should adjust the seeding.
I don't.
Yeah, you should get in the playoffs. Perfectly fine.
That's just gonna like.
But why am I 14-3 and I'm on the road because a team that was 8-8 won a trash division?
Go 17-0 then.
But I'm better than them.
It's gonna cause more players to sit out at the end of the year, and it's gonna make less games.
They're doing it anyway.
Games less meaningful.
They're doing it anyway.
I mean,
I think it'll cause them. But no, I think it'll make them play more because think about it.
Well, actually, yeah.
You get 9-8 teams. You get a 9-8 team, but they win a division. They're less likely to play somebody.
They're going to actually sit. Yeah,
exactly. But if you're a 9-8 team and you win your division, but they got this team that's third in the division, but they're also 9-8, and they're trying to get that 7th spot in, and they know that if they win, they not 9-8, but let's say
10-7.
You end up, they can go 10-7. Right, and you 9-8 now. Why they the 7th seed they got in, but they got the not the 7th seed, but they were third in the division. But now they got a home game, and you don't have a home game no more.
Or I was looking at the fact that like I was looking at like this year with the NFC. So like the Vikings were 14-3 and went on the road, but juxtaposed to if they were able to get a home game, them and the Eagles have the same record. So both the Vikings and the Eagles would have had to play to try and get the 3rd seed or the 2nd seed. Instead of just automatically being, we're 14-2, we stuck.
But even still, you saying the Vikings, they had a chance to have a home game. They lost. They blew their chance to have a home game.
Right, but I'm still 14-3. If the NFL is the ultimate,
if that's the case, what's the point in having divisions? You can't say, keep the divisions, but the division winner don't get rewarded for nothing.
And they do get rewarded. You made it. That's your reward.
Because I see that. No, that's not the reward because you can still, if you can just make it off a record, then there is no point of a division.
That's what I'm saying. If that's the case,
I'm saying you should get in. I'm just saying you shouldn't get the automatic home game.
So that I don't know, man. I don't think you should. If you gonna cancel out the division winners getting the home game, you might as well not have divisions at all.
I don't think division winners should supersede record.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
You should get in.
Not necessarily with the home game, but I don't know. Like I guess it just kind of depends, right? If you got the same record as somebody else, the division winner gets the nod. But if you have a worse record, than somebody else,
let's take this for an example. What if just because let's just say a team goes 7-10. And they win a division, they should get in.
Yeah, because you won your division.
You won your division.
So what about another team that went 7-10?
Tough tits. You didn't win your division.
But if another team, but if a team went 7-10 and they won their division, and a team squeezed in at the final playoff spot and they went 8-9, the 8-9 team should have the home field advantage over the
7-10 team. Yeah, that's all I said. That's all I'm saying. Is that once everybody's in, once the people who made it are in,
both 8-9, then you give it to the division winner.
But that's the thing. Just win your division. If you want the home game that bad, win your division. It's not.
But we talking about, but we talking about just making it more interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just getting a bid in for it's just like basketball. You win your division, you host a home. Your first, you're a top 5 seed. You host
I don't even think that shit really matter.
I'm gonna be honest. A basketball division. Yeah, I can't even tell you who's in what division in basketball.
I don't know, but I'll tell you who's in the NFC East.
If you win your division, you a top seed.
I'll tell you who's in the NFC East. The new Lion King.
Daniels, the Lion King.
I called it.
Shout out the NFC North. Oh, shout out the NFC North. I'm going to give NFC North credit for having 3 teams, for having the greatest single season division record of all time, and yet going 0-3 in the playoffs. I just want to give the NFC North credit for that.
They said that whole division was some regular season merchants, and I fucking lost it.
Oh, they had a 15-2, a 14-3, and 11-6, and they went 0-3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. But you know who's not terrible? Jaden Daniels. You know what is terrible? The Commanders' defense. But moving on, Jaden Daniels continues his impressive feats of playoff feats. Honestly, I can't even think of another word for it.
It's feats, period. Not even playoffs.
Feats, yeah. It's all season's been doing greatness. Me personally, I called his Tampa Bay Buccaneers game his superstar moment. I'm gonna call this Lions game his top 5 moment. It shouldn't happen like this. Like, and I get it. There's been rookies that have made to the championship game before. Joe Flacco, he wrote a great defense. Brock Purdy played pretty well, but ultimately we don't know how that would have ended because the Eagles blew his elbow out in like the first drive. So we don't know how that would have gone. And who cares about the guy that happened in 1970, dude? You were like irrelevant. I don't even know your name. So I don't care. And so we're looking at a guy who's clearly the best player on his team. I mean him and Scary Terry, but
he cleared Terry, bro.
He's the best player.
I was trying to show respect to Scary Terry. Positional value. Okay. He's the best player on his team.
Quarterback than Terry is closer to being. He's closer to being the best quarterback than Terry is to being the best receiver.
Very much so. All right. He's clearly the best player on his team. He's a rookie. He is the leader of that team. He made Washington.
That was 4-13.
13, and they pretty much just added him and Austin Eckler, but for the most part, him.
They had a bunch of quality veteran starters. So I do want to give credit to that ownership group
and the GM. He's been working.
GM coaching. They went and did what they were supposed to do which is why I hate how the Patriots did it. But they did what they're supposed to do for people trying to reestablish a culture. They went and got a bunch of people who knew how to do it to set a good foundation.
That's exactly why I said the Patriots had no business hiring Mayo. That's neither here nor there.
Shut up. But
I was right. I was right.
You would. They also didn't do none of the other stuff either.
They didn't do anything I wanted them to do. They literally did nothing.
The Commanders went and got veteran offensive linemen, which they're average at best. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They went and got some good veteran. They got some solid veteran defensive pieces and a really good piece of Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu's
good. He's good.
Every time I see him, he thumping shit. Right.
Yeah, but that's something up.
So they, I think they did really well. They went and got experienced coaching. Anthony Lynn is on that staff. They had a bunch of head coaches on that staff.
Kingsbury, like 3 or 4 head coaches on the staff.
And then you brought in not just a rookie QB, but a rookie QB that's played a lot of football, which I think that a lot of people are missing. Jay Daniels played football. He played 5 years in college in multiple systems. So he's played a lot of football.
Starts.
He's more mature. And I ain't gonna lie, he just got that it factor. He's one of them.
He got it, bro.
Yeah, that nigga nice. Like, does this nigga kick himself out his own pod? He's the producer.
Yo, you good? You're supposed to just let it rock. I just have to dip in and out real quick. You just have to let it rock. You have to let it rock. We're not cutting this out. We're not cutting this out when we edit it. So we just let it
This is gonna be there.
Okay.
This is gonna be there. But this is breaking the fourth wall everywhere. But no, I mean, and that's what I wanted to highlight is the fact that he does have 3 head coaches. You have Dan Quinn, who's the literal head coach, who outside of about 18 minutes of losing his mind in the Super Bowl, probably have a Super Bowl ring in Atlanta. You have Cliff Kingsbury, who was a head coach in college. He was an OC in college. He's a head coach in the NFL. He's basically the head coach of the offense. And you have Anthony Lynn, who before Jim Harbaugh was the best Chargers head coach in it. And you have him there. He's helping everybody everywhere. So you have 3, at least somewhat proven NFL head coaches there. You have a QB that had 55 starts in college. You went out and got pieces for him. You established a culture. You redid the entire organization in about 8 months, which is incredibly impressive. From new owner to GM to president to coach, like they rebuilt the entire thing in about 8 months. And you picked the right quarterback. I mean, it's just, and you picked the right guy to tie into it all. I mean, he's making play after
quarterback. I'm not even gonna say you just picked the quarterback. Granted, he's that guy. Like no question. I don't think they get to the NFC Championship without supporting him properly, doing a lot of things that he did in college for the offense.
Yeah.
Like I said, establishing him with vets like Austin Eckler, like Zach Ertz. You know, he already had a number 1 wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, right?
Yeah.
So I think you kind of made his job a little bit easier. But whenever it came to those pressure situations, man, he did not look like a rookie at all.
No.
At all.
I mean, even a 24-year-old, even think about other QBs you're saying at 24. Like, that would be Peyton Manning year 2, 3, Brady year 2, Mahomes year. Well, okay, Mahomes is a little different, but Mahomes year 2.
Different.
Mahomes is
but
different.
It's outliers. It's outliers.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like we've seen. Because I mean, anybody recall Aaron Rodgers at age 24? He was doing the same thing we're doing, sitting. I mean, like Kirk Cousins at 24.
We
got a game. We got a game with two. We got a game with 2 quarterbacks who are just now starting to get in like 27, 28.
20, yeah. So it's like who's 24?
They just not starting. He's 24 doing it.
And it's like he's walking into the NFC Championship game as only a 5.5 point dog on the road against the Eagles.
That game is very winnable too.
Very winnable.
They look championship game. Yeah, they look kind of mean. We can get to them in a second. And not just walking into the championship game. You went into the opponent's house. You went into the Lions' den of the number 1 seed, the most high-powered offense. Everybody was loving this fucking offense, right?
And hung 45 on them.
The bite your kneecap off defense, you hung 45 on them.
And honestly, you could have hung 60. You was being nice.
You kept it so cool under pressure. Every key 3rd down, 4th down, even if you didn't get it, even if y'all didn't really execute it, it wasn't on you. No part of you looked jittery. No part of you looked panicky. I mean, like, he Mufasa. He the Lion King. Like, I'm sorry.
That boy top 6, man.
That boy top 5.
Yeah, he right behind Stafford and shit.
Is Stafford playing next week?
Did Jaden Daniels play in the snow?
And that ain't my problem.
Did Joe Burrow make it?
Oh, we doing that. Oh, we doing that. Oh, we doing that. You don't know good quarterbacks pay, sir. Your team paid Kirk Cousins. I don't want to hear it from you. All right. Captain Kirk was your quarterback.
So while we're
you got the only rookie older than Jaden Daniels.
Kind of like wasted the season. Ben Johnson news.
Ben Johnson news broke right before we started recording.
Like he literally to the point where I had to change the title. That's why I just said Ben Johnson. Like it was this one shit. I was like, "Play Ben Johnson."
No,
yeah,
I'm changing it. This is not about Ben Johnson. This is about Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams sucked this year, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it because they didn't do this for Field. They didn't do this for Trubisky. They got some garbage defensive coordinator. Made him head coach, fired him. Then got him another garbage defensive coordinator. Didn't give him no weapons, no offensive line, nothing. So if Caleb sucks this year, I don't want to hear it. Don't nobody say nothing to me about he's better.
He didn't suck last year. He just didn't live up to his expectations.
Yeah, I say
that if you don't live up to your expectations, that means you what? You're a bust. Right or right?
Is Trayvon Walker a bust? Is Trayvon Walker a bust?
Yes, he was a number 1 overall pick. You don't hear
had double-digit sack seasons every year in the NFL.
Don't care. This ain't about Trayvon Walker. This ain't about Ben Johnson. This ain't about the Jags. This is about Caleb Williams. They said Mahomes 2.0.
They did say that.
They said Mahomes
they is in that right bubble in the corner.
I don't know who they
said
is.
Mahomes 2.0. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing about no O-line. I don't want to hear nothing about none of it. Because guess who played behind that same O-line? Justin Fields, and y'all call him garbage. I don't want to hear it. He got said Ben Johnson, one of the best play callers in the league. Didn't you say that, Mr. JTS? You did. So if Caleb stink it up, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
All right, so while you're on your rant, right? No, hey, we're all allowed to rant on here because if Zach Taylor ever comes up again, I'm gonna lose it. But just, yeah, I hate that Negro. Just for context purposes, the highest passing yard season for Justin Fields in his life is 25-62. That happened last year, his last year in Chicago. His most passing touchdowns. Hold on. Wait. What? Okay, the Cowboys are interviewing random people at this point. They don't know what they're doing. All right. So the most touchdowns ever in Justin Fields' career for a single season is 17. That was in his second year. His fewest interceptions thrown in a full season, I'm not counting the few games with Pittsburgh,
it's like 9, ain't it?
Was 9. That was in his last season in Chicago. His best passer rating in a full season is 86.3. Okay, we have all those numbers. Those are all his best, right? Right? We got it. We got it established.
Okay,
Caleb Williams as no. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm let you finish.
Caleb Williams as a rookie passed for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, and had 80 passer rating. Caleb Williams had Justin Fields' career numbers. Is all his best as a rookie.
Okay. So, and shout out to my guy Black. Justin is apparently scared to have him on the pod.
He can pull up.
You're not gonna factor Justin Fields running the ability into that.
Oh,
that Caleb Williams does not have. You're not gonna.
I mean, we don't know because Caleb Williams like running to the side. He's like
running sideways.
He's not the runner.
I don't know why he don't go forward.
He's not the runner that Justin Fields is. Quick question: Who is Justin Fields' best receiver?
DJ Moore.
Okay, the year DJ Moore came, Justin Fields was hurt, so not trying to hit it. So who was his best receiver? When Justin Fields had his career year, Darnell Mooney was hurt.
I dare you to say something.
He was hurt. I'm not saying Darnell Mooney not good. Darnell Mooney was hurt most of the year. So who was his best receiver?
Andrew Isabella.
No, Equinemius. Who is that?
Equinemius St. Brown.
The
other St. Brown.
Who does he play for?
Shit, I don't know.
The Saints practice squad.
He's doing the same thing we're doing, making podcasts at home. I probably
shout out to the St. Brown podcast collab.
I probably got more touchdowns at Soldier Field than Equinemius do. Matter of fact, look that up. How many touchdowns? I probably got more than he do. Come on, bro. Like, who was Caleb Williams? I mean, who was not Caleb Williams? Who was Justin Fields, offensive coordinator?
Got nothing to do with me.
Who was his head coach? He had a head coach that was a defensive coach, and they had the worst defense in the league.
Yeah, the offensive coach, and they fired him.
No, he didn't. Justin Fields head
coach, and they fired him.
Oh, Matt Nagy was his first coach. And he got him fired. Justin Fields is so great, he got him fired.
Justin Fields didn't play his rookie year.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
He started after 3 games.
He started 3 games. He started 3 games. Wow.
No, he started after 3 games. So he played 13, 14. He's not good. He's not good. And that's okay. All right. We all miss from time to time.
We're letting the guy, you're going to sit here and let the guy that sucks at announcing quarterbacks outside of Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow, and he only liked them because they went to LSU. So
I'm not gonna lie, that Sam Darnold thing was looking good this year.
Anybody that didn't come out of LSU, his quarterbacks did what? Sam Darnold? Isn't he the Sam Darnold guy?
He was 14-3. Has Justin Fields won 14 games total in his career? He was 14-3.
What did Sam Darnold look like his last game plan? I don't know.
He don't look like he got Ben Johnson on the sideline, which is what this topic is supposed to be about. So, just predictions.
Shout out to Ben Johnson. He deserves a head coaching job, but this is about Caleb Williams. You got your coach. You got your weapon. You got your defense.
Let's take it off the Bears. Let's go to the Lions and let's talk about how do you think the Lions are going to look with him gone? Do they fall off? Do they have enough time to suffice? Do you think that he created a good enough coaching tree?
I think
honestly,
the defensive coordinator. if they lose both coordinators, I think it's
Which
gonna
they
be.
are.
I think it's gonna be a big drop off.
They are.
I think they'll still like win around 11, 12 games, but they're not gonna look the same.
So as it was weird in Dan Campbell's post-game presser, you never hear a coach address his coordinators in that way. And he pretty much on the mic was like, yeah, I expect to lose them both. He had never heard anything official, but anytime a head coach would come to the mic and was like, yeah, they both out of here, that's not good for them. Knowing Dan Campbell, he's probably going to pull up from within. So probably the QB coach will become the OC and the linebacker coach becomes the DC. Just knowing Dan Campbell, he wants to keep his culture together. It's hard to replace a top 5 coordinator. And that's the one downside to having a non-offensive head coach is the fact that whenever your offense looks good, you probably lose your OC. And you have to keep replacing that OC, and that's where it gets complicated. So now Campbell has to deal with a few things. Number one, you're going to lose both your coordinators. So for the first time you've been there, you've had both coordinators and your quarterback since you've been there. You've never had to think about anything else.
Dan Campbell. That's the thing.
They both came with you. Yeah, both came with you. You've had your quarterback. You've had your GM. Like, you've had one of the most stable situations since you've arrived there. You're going to have to replace both coordinators. Your quarterback's now questioned heavily, Jared Goof. And you're going to have to figure out to do something. And your general manager's rolling, but your team's also beat the hell. I think it's going to be a fall off. I think it'll be a problem. I just don't. You don't replace Ben Johnsons. Like, those don't just grow on trees.
Well, to be fair, Ben Johnson wasn't Ben Johnson until they got Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, that hit the offensive line, Sam Laporta. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not about to pretend that the Lions was just like lights out that entire time that he was there. It helps when you have good players.
It does help.
I don't think the fall off is going to be. I think they're going to look different. I can see a whole lot more vanilla offense. That fourth down shit might come down a little bit, but
that third down, just handing the ball off because fourth down, Ben Johnson about to do a triple reverse shovel pass. Like,
Jameson Williams never throw a football again.
Please don't. Oh my God.
It didn't look bad, but boy, you ain't got no vision. Man, you ain't got no vision.
When you see him throw it, it didn't look bad. But that's why I don't like watching the TV copy. I like watching from the quarterback.
The end zone. I like seeing all 22. I like the all 22 film because it's like, bro,
he had no business throwing that, bro.
It's like, dog, I've seen them 3 jerseys right there.
Just run the ball.
I thought he was gonna run too.
He's faster than everybody else. He's faster than everybody else. Just run.
I was like,
it was
in my head. I was like, I know you've seen them. I seen them 3 jerseys right there, and I was a lot further away than you were.
I was living in Louisiana. I saw them, so I know you.
You had to see the 3 jerseys right there. Like,
all right, on to another game that was very high-powered. Saquon, have yourself a snow day.
Again, whoever is making these really need to get paid. I don't know. His agent sucks. He needs a raise. Anyway, so
and the Eagles beat the Rams.
Saquon Barkley and his offensive line beat the Rams because his quarterback is useless. So Saquon Barkley rushed. Defense last night, yeah. Saquon Barkley rushed for 203 yards, breaking the Eagles' single-game playoff rushing record. He's the only Eagle to ever rush for 200 yards in a playoff game. Jalen Hurts' best attribute was his legs, which honestly was not helping the black quarterback in that game. Not gonna lie to you. The leading receiver on the Eagles was Goddard, I believe. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Goddard. Yes. And then he was just kept letting the ball go. And then on the Rams side, shout out Matt Stafford still finding a way to throw 324 yards in a snow game. That's actually quite impressive. Definitely not. And shout out Puka Nacua for being able to operate in that weather as well. And shout out Kyron Williams for continuing to drop footballs on the ground when he's supposed to be holding them.
Literally, not even just.
He just let them go. I don't understand. Like at least Matt Stafford got the ball punched out. Kyron
You
Williams
knew it was gonna be cold. You knew it was gonna be cold. How did they not prepare for that? That's one thing I will say. A Bill Belichick team would have put them fucking balls in the freezer and they had them run with would have went to the corner store and be like, hey, go run with these 10-pound bags of ice or something. Because you know it's gonna be cold.
You gotta think about it though, bro. Like they play in the state to where it never snows. So it's like that's why I think they need to redo the division and conferences though. Because
the conferences will never change because of where they come from. Like you'd have more ability fixing the divisions than you would the conference.
Well, it's not the divisions on the West Coast for you to avoid snow. And I'm sorry, it's not an excuse. Snow games is a part of football. We all love them. We all love them.
You just happen to get drafted to the team in Los Angeles that has a canopy on top of the stadium, as opposed to the team in Philadelphia. Because that's
on the coach for not preparing for that. Who can drop shit?
I mean, but think about it, bro. If you're in California, how do you prepare for a snow game?
You fly to Philly on Thursday and you go practice outside.
You fly earlier. They do that all the time. Just like them teams that be in the cold, whenever they go to Miami or somewhere, or they go to Arizona or somewhere like that, they go out there earlier to get their bodies acclimated to the temperature. You gotta go out there earlier. Find a way to do it. Whenever they get to rain, Bill Belichick used to hose
the footballs down
with a water hose, while they're in action, doing punts and stuff like that. So that way you can get used to it. It's about preparation, and they didn't prepare.
And it's very rare to say Sean McVay and unpreparedness in the same sentence. But the team looked unprepared to play. Now, granted, Kyron Williams does fumble the ball a lot, so him necessarily fumbling the ball wasn't that shocking. But Stafford, the ball just got touched and he just flew out his hand.
The offensive line play was bad.
They slipped and slid the whole game. And that's again from unpreparedness. Where are the super long cleats? Why y'all still in those short little molded cleats?
In the studs.
And where are the inch and a half cleats, bro? You're playing in the snow. So it was a sense of unpreparedness going on. But shout out Saquon, man. He's doing greatness for. I don't know if he's gonna change the running back market. It's still too many of them, or it's still too many of them that don't change.
I don't think they changed it, but I think it got looked at as more valuable because of what Saquon did, what
Jacobs did.
Yeah, what Josh Jacobs did, what Derrick Henry did. Even Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, running backs like that, it's okay.
Yeah, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, running backs that was drafted high whenever they draft running backs in the first round.
I think there still is a market from down there because if you tell me that the Falcons ain't gonna drop a bag for Bijan, I don't believe that.
Austin Genty, nobody is happy about this. The Austin Genty.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Ashton Genty is the most exciting man on the planet because now, 2 years ago, they'd have been yeah, he's amazing, but you don't draft a running back in the first round.
He's probably a third round pick.
He's probably early second.
Now he's a first.
He might be a top 15 pick.
Right.
Nah, because if
this is not a good draft class. It's not a high ceiling draft class. He's one of the few players.
But you also got to think about who's drafting where though. It's not all about do I don't
think that doesn't matter depending on your team. If you got a bad team, but this season ain't showing there's a lot of bad teams. The whole top 10, all of them niggas is 3-14 to
awful.
I don't think nobody in the top 10 won more than 5 games.
I get that, but it's even still I'm not trying to downplay the running back position, but you still can find good running backs in other rounds. So even drafting him that high, because
I think if your roster is that bad, which a lot of these teams are because they've been drafting that high for a while, I think you got to take the best player available and then figure it out afterwards.
But
I think drafting fit and positional value is a luxury.
I mean, that's
a lot of these teams don't have that luxury right now.
5 of the teams in the top 10, what? They got quarterback problems. So you know they're gonna draft quarterback.
Yeah, but if I can't get a running back, I'm gonna get it to somebody I can turn around and hand them more than 25 times a game.
With how the league has been going, it ain't looking like it.
And my whole thing is though, like the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly, should be thanking their lucky stars for the snow. And the reason why is their passing game is off. I don't know what's going on between Hurts and AJ Brown. I don't know.
He told y'all 4 weeks ago. What's wrong with the offense? Passing.
Yeah, they literally. They have an inability to pass the ball at a consistent basis, and so the one way
passer.
Yes, and the one way to neutralize that is to turn around and say, "Here, Saquon, go!" Like, and he ran him to the title game. Now the only thing is though, I'm about to play Washington's defense, who if there's a good right defense in the playoffs left, it's Washington's. Like they're awful.
Saquon might carry them to the Super Bowl, man.
Saquon might run them to the Super Bowl.
I don't think, and I don't know the thing is called Saquon himself, but we gotta give a lot of credit to that front seven. The defense as a whole, but that front seven in Philadelphia,
that front seven is nasty.
Dudes was getting sacks that I never heard of before. The fact
I've never even seen you play.
They come at you in waves because you really don't see. It's always 4, and it's 4 different people almost every time. The one constant that's always game wrecking is
Jalen Carter. Yeah,
Jalen Carter is gonna be the next.
Hey, down. You gotta give a lot of credit to Nolan Smith too, bro. He's been having a playoff, a good playoff this year too.
Yeah, he's definitely found his own. But I think a lot of that is because of he gonna get the 1-on-1 with Carter because you gotta focus on Carter. Carter is
you gotta double Carter.
He's a game wrecker. You can't do him. You saw what happened.
Right over this.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's not fair, bro. What I'm tripping on is how all these folks come from Georgia and the Falcons didn't get none of them, bro. That's what really bro. Like, did y'all not go see them play, bro? Like, come on, bro.
They down the street, man. Like,
back years, y'all took Bijan and Drake London. I'm sure you're not mad at that, but
I mean, I'm not. I'm not. Like,
would you trade Bijan for Jalen Carter?
Yes, in a heartbeat. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Jalen Carter also was a top 5 pick, and he had that stuff come out right before the draft.
I don't care.
Okay, and here's the thing. Even though he had that stuff come out right before the draft, you don't let the team that was the Super Bowl runner-up, who just had a historic season in sacks, draft him. You don't let them do that.
See there is not enough.
The year before that, like, come on, bro. Like, what are y'all doing, bro? Like,
there's not enough hating in the NFL. Because in the NBA, that would have never happened. You would have never gotten him. And the NBA is Atlanta haters.
This might be a little morbid. If it wasn't for the Henry Ruggs thing, Jalen Carter was supposed to be a Raider.
Yeah. It's not morbid at all. It's just the facts. It's just like we can't bring you, like you can't play for us. Like,
for what you did.
Yeah.
You just throw some crab legs or something like James did. Like,
but that specifically, that PR was
shout out to the Eagles going to the conference championship. I think that they were resilient. I think the Rams were the better. I still think the Rams were a better team. I think the weather played a very large factor. And I think that if it wasn't for two back-to-back mishaps by the center on that final drive, Rams was about to get in the end zone. So I died that year. The Rams was about to get in the end zone.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was wrong about it Sunday, but I'm gonna call out every time, bro. A 2-minute drive with a great quarterback with decent weapons. If any team will give up a touchdown, it's the Eagles. Like,
no, they were going to. They were going to.
Jalen Carter saved it.
The center decided I'm not gonna block the nose tackle, which. I don't know what blocking scheme he ever had that did that, but like,
after like 45 minutes of Jalen Carter having to block him in the snow, after a while, he's just gonna let me take a break real quick. He just not doing it the first time. Like,
let me go to the other guy real fast. Like,
he dropped the ball just like
the Ravens dropped the divisional. Shout out Mark Andrews. Because he kept dropping stuff literally everywhere. Oh, man. Including this offseason. Oh, GOAT time. I've been waiting on this all show. 50 some odd minutes to wait for this GOAT. I had to sit on this take for 4 months. Not gonna lie, got a little darker sometimes. However, my take of ultimately Derrick Henry will not help any of their problems came to fruition. Stop signing names. Sign stuff that matters. Before you signed Derrick Henry, you had the best rushing attack in football. You had a passing game you didn't depend on at certain times. You had a defense that was known to sum up at the very end. And you had a coaching staff that usually screwed you. After you signed Derrick Henry, you still had the best rushing attack in football. You didn't solve your passing game problems. He can't tackle anybody, and he can't coach for the team. You literally did nothing except get slightly better at what you're already good at. Oh, and breaking news, the person with the lowest amount of yards per carry on the entire Baltimore Ravens team last game was Derrick Henry. Justice Hill and Lamar Jackson had higher yards per carry than Derrick Henry. Guess who didn't get the ball on the last play of the game? Derrick Henry. And you were on the 2. So I feel like if anytime you're going to get a ball to Derrick Henry, it would be on the 2. But instead, you threw the ball to Mark Andrews. You literally got him for no reason. You just got marginally better at what you're already the best at. They'd be like the Bengals drafting Travis Hunter and putting him at receiver. They'd be like, why? Like, you're already really good at this. Like, this is stupid. And they'd be like the Chiefs signing Josh Allen to play quarterback. It's like, you're already good at this. Like, why would you do that?
Okay, to be fair, he just dropped it. So it was very close. He just dropped it. And I think that the Bills would definitely try and lose that game. I'm not gonna say they were trying to lose because they didn't really make mistakes, but they weren't trying to win.
They was trying to get the time to drop.
They was gonna get the time to run out. They was gonna get the time to run out fast.
And that's why I think they're gonna lose next week.
They played tight. I don't know. I don't know. Josh always kick up. Josh
always did it against Mahomes.
Saying 3 against Mahomes.
Yeah, he always turns against Mahomes.
It's typically everybody else that starts to fall apart. But
everybody else are doing dumb stuff, but he be fine.
Right, you can only do so much. Like, who's he gonna throw the ball to?
But he didn't really do anything.
Khalil Shakir. Yeah, he didn't do much at all in his last game. Yeah,
he was laughing at like Jalen Hurts having like 120 yards or some shit like that.
Allen had like what?
Like a lot. Josh Allen had like 111. Yeah, like
Josh Allen does it on like a regular basis.
But that's what I don't know, bro. I don't see it. It just doesn't look like they have a chance in the AFC. But I mean, my thing is, I don't even think the drop in the 2-point conversion even lost them. I mean, it lost them the game.
Yeah, Josh had 125. 127. Sorry.
It's the turnovers is what killed them. I love Lamar. Like, I get that first interception, you had to get out your hand fast. It sailed on you.
He misread the covers too.
Yeah. It happens. It was the beginning of the game. Y'all was still battling. Then
this always happens in the playoffs.
That fumble that he had, like, that fumble was bad. That was a bad. Like, I get you're a dynamic playmaker with your legs, but at some point you just gotta know, like, fall. It's snowing. It's cold. The ball wet. Just fall. Like, it's nothing else you can do.
You can't feel your fingers.
You just fall. That, and then the Mark Andrews fumble. Like,
that was a killer.
What are you doing, bro? Catch the ball, get upfield, stiff on somebody, cover the ball up. When did you become this, like, oh, I'm about to be shifty kind of guy? No, just catch the ball, get what you can get, and fall.
Something about that this iteration of the team, they just get so tight in the playoffs. In the regular season, they lose, they free, they dominate, they stick to their game. But it seemed like whenever the playoffs happen, it's like they just have no faith in their game plan. And this has been a common theme with it. And then they make critical turnovers and critical errors. Like, they saw they showed like the graphic. It was like 2022, 2023 season. boy fumbled at the goal line because he didn't do the sneak right. Huntley, he fumbled last year.
Zay Flowers the next year.
There's Zay Flowers the next year. Trying to stick the ball out.
Even still, bro, like I get Mark Andrews is probably you think he's your best receiving weapon. That's cool. But honestly, bro, he had a dropping problem throughout the whole game. It wasn't the first pass that he dropped. Me personally,
they should have ran that play for Likely.
I would have ran that play for Likely. I would have ran that exact same play for Likely. Like, bro, like
in Mark Andrews' defense on the juke, it almost worked. Like, had the dude not hit
the defensive play.
Had the dude not hit the ball, he was gonna score. It's just the dude happened to hit the ball.
That's the thing. You're in a playoff game. You have to expect that. They do it. It's not like, okay, if that was a corner, all right, cool, whatever. But that's a linebacker. What?
That's a safety, huh?
Every linebacker in the league, he's going to punch the ball up. Like,
I want to tip my hat to Buffalo's defense because they've been getting called out all week, myself included, of saying that
they ain't big enough.
They can't tackle. They're not big enough because physically they don't look big enough. They run a lot of nickel. Like nickel is damn near their base formation at this point. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's getting more and more popular throughout the league. Is people come out and base nickel.
But that's because everybody running them 3-by-1 wide receiver sets too. So
also true.
But yeah. So but even their linebackers are small. Like you thought it was a safety. Their linebackers are small. Like their defense is literally just small. The defensive line, I think with Ed Oliver, he like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying?
And that's being kind.
300 pounds. Maybe.
That's being kind on Ed Oliver being 6 feet.
Yeah, bro. It's like they're just a small defense. And so they're a small defense and they're a bad secondary. Right? So everybody thought they was like, well, they was gonna get run through. But they put hats on hats. They committed to their run fits and they went after them niggas. Even though Derrick Henry started to ramp up a little bit in the third quarter, that first half, they kept him in check. What was my guy name?
It's like every time they start their running game going.
What's the other for the Ravens?
Justice
Hill. Yeah, Justice Hill. He had to work for all his yards because they was hitting him in the backfield. He just, you know what I'm saying?
Bounce off.
It's like every time they start leaning towards their run game in the second half of a game like that.
Yeah,
they just
I do want to give them credit for that. But we gotta talk about Lamar, man. And good news, he's only 27. Some dudes don't win a Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl until they're like 35 anyway, right? So it's a long time. I'm not about to be one of those people who like he can't not win a Super Bowl. But I think there's gonna have to be some major changes around him for him to win a Super Bowl. I don't see Lamar and John Harbaugh, or is it Jim? John. I don't see Lamar and Harbaugh going to a Super Bowl together.
Honestly, I do. I'm gonna keep saying this. They need a wide receiver one. They need a true wide receiver one. Zay Flowers is not a wide receiver one.
They invest in the position though, and it just doesn't work out.
Where did they invest in it?
Zay Flowers was a first-round pick. Rashad Bateman was a first-round pick. They gave Odell Beckham what, like $30 million for that 1 year? They invest in the position. It's something that's
they tried. It just don't work. They tried.
It's not translating. They tried. Whatever they do for the tight ends, they need to just do for the wide receivers. For some reason, they knocked that out the park.
They scout need to do both.
Yeah.
They
tried. It's not like they tried to bargain do it. Like make your wide receiver one come from like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. No.
Yeah, then I'd be like, all right, guys, are you even trying here? But the fact they really are investing premium capital
in the wide receiver position and had them vulnerable at other spots. They have one corner. Well, now Nate Wiggins, right? But for a long time, they had one corner.
Yeah.
Their safeties only seem to be good for like half a season, and then they fall off the map. Tell me, Roquan Smith was good, but it seemed like that without Patrick Queen there, he hasn't been Roquan Smith.
Well,
and Patrick Queen wasn't really shit until Roquan Smith got there. So what's up with the linebacker?
My thing with the Ravens,
rush. Kyle Van Noy has been like a godsend, but your best pass rusher can't beat 33-year-old Kyle Van Noy, who was a cast off from like 4 or 5 different teams.
And I like Kyle Van Noy, but he can't be a primary pass rusher.
He can't.
My thing is with the Ravens, and this is something that people always look at, the Super Bowl loser always struggles the next few years. They have a hard time getting back, especially that next year. Those teams, those almost could-have teams, struggle for a long time. The Lions are one of those teams where it's like that window might be closed. Like, this might have been their last best shot at it.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's gone. Aaron Glenn's about to go. That might have been your last best shot at it. Yeah, you got to start paying people. I call him Sonic so much I forget his real name. Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra's gonna have to get redone too soon. Aiden Hutchinson's gonna have to get redone soon. Like, you're gonna have to start paying some of that talent. You got to make some moves. The Ravens are teetering on that point. It's teetering to the point of like they might got another year left for this experiment, and then they got to make some choices.
Bro, they
and some uncomfortable conversations.
Half of their offensive line is up for free agency.
Is a free agent and like true free agency.
Their two starting safeties are free agents.
Wait, Kyle Hamilton's a free agent?
Oh, right, I forgot about Kyle Hamilton. I was Marcus Smith and Stevens.
Okay, so 2 of the 3 that they use a lot because they use a weird. They use a 3 high safety system or a 3 safety system. But yeah, you're gonna have your O line. The league needs offensive linemen, so they're not going to be.
Somebody's going to pay them. Somebody's going to pay them a lot.
New England, and someone had to pay them. Really, come on, Raven. You got me. Come on, just give me Ronnie Staley. I'll be cool. You can keep the other one. Yeah. You can keep that nigga. Yeah, just give me Ronnie Staley, dog. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro. But like, half the league is looking for a left tackle. He's one of the best left tackles in the game, and he's going to enter true free agency.